Well everyone, welcome back. It is day 2 of working on the 320D, so second video for you guys. Well, I've decided to pull off that EGR cooler to see what was going on there, because obviously that arm was stuck. So I've pulled it off out of place and just put these little rubber grommets in place so more cooler doesn't leak out. It's got this interesting little vacuum actuator, which would not have actuated that arm at all because it was so stuck. Speaking of stuck, trying to get this out of here, nightmare, absolute nightmare. The arm, yeah, that just snapped off. So, yay! I've even tried to get a pry bar in there. Let's get a bit of light in there. You can see the little flap down there. See a little bit of scratch marks there from the pry bar. That will not at all break loose, so this cooler is trash. But I have found one online second hand with the exact same part number. So far I'm the winning bidder with an hour to go at 27 quid, so huge saving. And I can pop that sucker in place. It's dead. All it's missing is a little vacuum actuator, which I have there, so great. Next, yeah, to be fair, that's taken up most of my afternoon. Apart from doing things like garden, lawn, you know, usual adult type stuff you gotta do. But anticipation of getting the gearbox out. Let's get down here. I've had a look under the car and I was looking at the exhaust, and obviously I'm going to disconnect the exhaust so I can get to all the shields, etc., which is, yeah, just a multitude of them. And then that brace, etc., so the whole exhaust can come down. You get the idea, because obviously I've got to take these plastics off as well, and those, so I can get this gearbox mount out so the whole thing can tilt down, so we can reach some bolts. But you might notice there's a little crack over there on the clamp, which I was quite interested in, and then I gave it a little, and yeah, that's very loose. That would explain the blowing sound. It's never glamorous getting out from underneath a car like that, but I'll try my best for you. Right, so at least I've got a somewhat cracked clamp, so I can just force it off, because that nut, as you can see on there, is just, yeah, it's a goner. And I am full of something again. I don't know how I do this to myself, but I promise I'm not working on this car with my face. So yeah, we'll pry that off, order a new clamp for it, etc., etc., and go from there, because quite a few little things that need doing that I was not expecting. Also, I don't think the coolant is the right color, so I'm going to drain the coolant, replace it as well, just everything sorted. Yeah, I mean, we're changing the EGR cooler as well, so yeah, a whole bunch of little things here and there. I should probably price the thermostat while I'm here. Change the thermostat while everything's all apart there and the coolant system's drained. 100%. Then we know that the car's going to run up to operating temperature. Guarantee something with this gone flap actuates some sort of bypass valve for the EGR. Helps with warming the car up or something to that effect, so yeah, we'll definitely look into that. But I'm going to pick this up next weekend. A few seconds for you guys, because it's already 4 o'clock on Sunday, and yeah, I don't feel like having to store half the car in the garage. I'd rather just leave it on the car and then just tackle it on Sunday, pull the rest of that off, and then suck in the gearbox off the same day, and we can have a look. Yeah, but until then, you guys oh wait, it's not the intro. Next clip. A lot has happened. I have burdened myself with more work than I needed to, because I've decided it's time to do the timing chain and pull the engine out as well. So, here's where the car is. Yeah, that's the car. For the keenly observant of you, there's no front end. To be fair, you don't need to be very observant to see that. So, general things: looms disconnected from the ECU, etc. there. The rest of it around the car. Injectors 1 and 2 are out. 1 was okay. 2 was an absolute struggle. 3 and 4 are not moving. I've got this neat little slide hammer injector remover tool, which I don't think is big enough. We need something with a lot more force to get these injectors out, because they are stuck. So yeah, I might see if anyone in the area's got one, you know, one of the BMW guys. Let me know. Yeah, so things like fuel lines down there all disconnected, blah blah blah. Gearbox drive shaft is disconnected. It's just literally the gearbox mount. The 4 bolts are loosely in place just so the whole thing doesn't pivot back at the moment. And then I just need to undo the mounts, and strictly speaking, it should lift up and out, and then we can carry on pulling the rest of it apart and do the timing chain, because yeah, you know, I enjoy that whole self-torture thing. Intercooler, yeah, it's fine, no damage to it, but the bolts that hold it in are rusted a lot with, well, to be fair, a lot of bolts were rusted on this car. Trying to get things out was just a nightmare. We've got a radiator. I don't know if you can tell me what's wrong with that in the chat. Pause the video here, let us know. But for everyone else, yeah, radiators aren't supposed to be bendy at the bottom, or have an entire spot that's just bulged. So yeah, that needs to get replaced. Yeah, it's been fun, and I mean the complete opposite of that. These shops that can pull these things out in a day, change the timing chain, slap it back in, props to you guys, because man, this is hard work. Like, my hand has like blisters from that slide hammer trying to get those injectors out. It has been a struggle for the last hour trying to get the others out. Injector number 2 probably took a good 20 minutes by itself, just trying to get that damn thing out. So yeah, like I say, I'm gonna give it a bigger slide hammer and attach it to that and see whether I can pull the damn things out. What else? All the parts are scattered along there. Air current compressors, drive shafts, blah blah blah. Fuel rail down there. The covers, horribly rusted as you can see. Literally just turned to dust. So they were kind of loose and clattering around anyway, so got them the hell out of there. So yeah, it's been just a fight with rusty bolts and things. I mean, the back of the exhaust, I can't drop it from the hangers or anything. I can't disconnect the hangers, like unbolt them, because yeah, the bolts are rusted, and you put any torque on them and they just round off. So yay. I've been fighting with those all day for the last 2 days, just dealing with those damn things, just not wanting to come out. So yeah, that's been my struggle. Yeah, that particular car there is my struggle, and you know, it's that whole adage of how hard can it be, you know, and pull an engine. Everyone does so easily on YouTube. they've got a lot of practice at this, and they have the right tools. Not saying this isn't the right tool, it's just not big enough. I mean, you know, we all know the bigger the tool, the more useful it is. Anyway, moving on. So yeah, I've got to take care of that. Still the pulley, etc. As we know from the last video, the pulley is shot, tensioners, stuff like that. I'll change the thermostat as well, because I guarantee you that's shot. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of work to get this car A-okay again. That'll be worth it in the end. Maybe next time I don't go for such a crazy project. I'll say that, but then once I'm all done, I'll be like, oh yeah, look, that wasn't so bad. Yeah, like pulling the gearbox in the 5 Series. Fun. Absolute fun.
Welcome back. It is a definite few weeks after the last part of this video, but progress has been made because now, eventually, I have all the injectors out and I've pulled the slave cylinder out and I'm in the process of removing the DPF. Just here, I've just unbolted a few things. I just got to get that little bracket off there and I can get the whole thing out. And with the DPF removed, I can then pull the engine. Yeah, and I think that's where we're going to leave this video off, so you guys stay tuned for the next episode of pulling the engine out and hopefully tearing it apart. So until then, you guys stay awesome, and I will see you hopefully not, you know, this has been about a month and a bit, so I apologize for that, but there have been a few setbacks, and yeah, setbacks happen. But I will tease you guys with something else that I'm doing, so if you know, you know. If you know, you know. For the rest of you, that should be hint enough. So, I'll see you next time. You guys stay awesome. Ciao.